Center Kristaps Porzingis expected to miss several games with a right calf strain he suffered in Game 4, sources telling our Adrian Wojnarowski on Tuesday. The Celtics said the star big man will be out for tonight's Game 5 in Boston because of the injury, but did not offer a timetable beyond that. Andrea, is this Porzingis injury a major cause for concern for Boston?
I don't think it's a cause for concern against the Heat, not against potentially the Magic or the Cavs, but it is in whoever potentially comes out and plays in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think that's where it comes into play, and that's where the Celtics will be vulnerable. I don't think the Celtics are vulnerable until the Eastern Conference Finals. Then Kristaps Porzingis and his absence could be huge and puts them in a vulnerable position.
I think it's the final. I think the Celtics are clearly 20 times better than these other teams. I could play for them the night they beat Miami. They're going to beat Cleveland and Orlando. Really? I mean, anybody watching that series? And the Knicks and Sixers are not going to beat. Philly never beats the Celtics, and the Knicks aren't beating them either. They need them against Denver, or they need them in the NBA final. Andrea is 100% right. I don't even think they need him in the East. As long as he's healthy in June, raring to go in that 6 or 7 game series, Boston will be okay.
I don't give a damn about getting and comparsing it between this series, next series, or whatever the case may be. The Boston Celtics is the best team in the NBA, best record, okay? Prohibitive favorites, even though everybody has looked at Denver. So really when it comes down to the Boston Celtics, we're talking about your title. You damn right they got a reason for concern, because if Porzingis isn't 100%, they got no shot. They're not winning the championship without Porzingis. It's just that simple. And so for me, when I look at it from that standpoint, that's what it comes down to. Certainly you could beat Cleveland or Orlando next round, even though Paolo Banchero is somebody that we need to pay attention to. This brother can ball now. He's a special talent, and we got to give him some love and some credit in what he brings to the table. I think Orlando wins that series, notches it at 3-3, and there's a Game 7 back in Cleveland, okay? But in the end, what it comes down to with Boston, we've seen Boston, play down to the competition. We've seen them play up to the competition at times. They've lost to Denver twice this year, even though both were nail-biters and came down to the last shot. We see the parity that exists in the West. We also see Boston Celtics having a penchant to rely on a three a little bit too much, perimeter shots a little bit too much, one-on-one, but a little bit too much, and what have you. They get away from themselves, and there's a level of inconsistency that kicks in. So when I think about Porzingis being 7'3", being a shot blocker, being able to be that guy that offsets the usage of Al Horford to some degree, he's incredibly pivotal, because remember, as long as he's out, you're asking Al Horford to do more. Him and Luke Cornett, okay? And that's not something that the Boston Celtics want to do, which means everyone will have to elevate their game, but they're not considered to be the deepest team in the league. So considering the multitude of bodies that they play or they don't play, how deep they go with their roster, combined with the fact that you're losing this frontline player that can produce for you, it can be a bit more difficult than we're really articulating at this particular moment in time. I think there's big reason to be concerned. And by the way, anytime we see a right calf injury, we have to pay attention to that because of Kevin Garnett. That was what precipitated his Achilles tear. And so every time I see that now with a player, I get very worried. Why was Milwaukee so worried when they saw that with Giannis? They were very, very concerned about it. Why? Because of what happened with Kevin Durant. Same thing here. This non-contact stuff that happens, and then all of a sudden, somebody's grabbing their calf, and we're saying it's just the calf, it's just the calf, and then ultimately, we see an Achilles follow. That's what we have to be concerned about. That we can't take that lightly. We can't take that for granted.
Obviously, with Durant, that was a major injury. I think Steve is dead wrong. I mean, you got a month to get him healthy. First off, I think they may even be able to win the championship without Porzingis. Really? And they almost beat Golden State without they didn't have Porzingis.
That ain't Denver. That ain't Denver with Jokic.
Denver was
and Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr.
Terrible. Denver was terrible against the Lakers. They were lucky to win. They were awful. No bench. Murray bailed them out. They could have lost that series easy, or at least play a 7th game. Denver was not impressive. Denver was not impressive against the Lakers.
In the second half of each game, they were toying with the Lakers up until that last game. Okay? They were toying with them. Okay? Listen, they had a 20-point lead and erased it. Man, I went to the bathroom to take a leak. I came back. It was gone. The lead was gone. They were up 20. That's what happened, okay? I mean, this is what we're talking about here,
Andrea,
all right?
Whose side
Just
are you
like
on
that
this?
quickly.
wanna try to boast at what I look like. Keep them James Harden where I pull up all brains. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's 88 over here,